let's talk through all these golf events that you have coming up.
Gabby, I'm glad you asked. Got my calendar right here. July 17th at Red Run, and then July 31st, I have the American Golf outing for the Cancer Society.
I also have the American Cancer Society golf outing on the 31st, and also I got yours on the 18th, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Whoa, boys, these are a lot of events and golf outings.
Well, you want me to miss my own golf tournament?
Gabby, they're all great colors.
I mean, this is...
Hold on. I got this. Guys, I got this. Don't worry about it. Hold on a second.
He always...
Hey guys, thanks for coming so fast. How are ya? Remember the guys from Randy Wise, right? Sir. The Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
Watch for the eye.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports. And some, well, not so much. Brought to you in part by Premier Security Solutions, Fairway Packing Company, and Swiss Insurance. Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy. Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal, Ruhl, that guy. The hole-in-one hoarder. He is Darren McCarty.
For the third, baby. Third time. First one in 7 years, Neal. That just means that I'm destined to get another one.
Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here as well. Shout out Sandy Crystal hanging out too, checking out the show. Spenmo, you play golf.
I do.
As do I. Played a long time. Was pretty decent back in the day. Mm-hmm. Have 0 holes in one. Do you have any holes in one?
I have 0.
I have 0 as well.
I got really close last year, but I was like 2 feet from the pin.
I almost had one in a match in high school. It was actually a bladed 9-iron, though, believe it or not.
Yeah.
It was ugly, but it rolled up there. It almost went in. I would have been embarrassed if it would have went in.
No, they don't ask how.
But-
they ask how many. Just because I got 3 pure hole-in-ones, including yesterday, number 7,
And-
at the Sharp. I just love that it was at
Oakland
your
University.
turf.
Yeah, at
On
Oakland
your
University.
turf.
Yeah. Darren McCarty, you're a hoarder. You're a hole-in-one hoarder. Can you save some for the rest of us?
I haven't had one in 7 years.
Oh.
Okay, so no.
Oh.
Keep firing flags. Keep firing at those pins. And you know, it was apropos. And you know the 7th hole or whatever. And yesterday in the Hope Network, shout out to my boy Eddie Murray for the Hope Network great golf tournament. What a beautiful day. But I stepped up there, right, and reminiscent of this weekend's U.S. Open where they had an 81-yard par 3. So I don't care where it is. Get it in the hole. Bubba Watson, are you familiar with him?
I'm familiar with his work, yes.
You know when I say Bubba Golf, what that means? That means I don't care what it looks like, how many strokes did it take you to get it in the hole. Mm-hmm. So just to answer your question, because I don't want people to think that I bladed it or anything like that, it was pure. It was pure. And
I know.
I was
number
lucky
3.
because that shout out to PXG. If you want to, small flex, been using those. First one with the PXG clubs. There it is, pulling out of the hole. But that was a gap wedge from 113 because I was playing with Nick and my boy Josh Parrish from Vet Life, is that I could hit that as hard as I wanted. And it never left the flag. So, I mean, karma's real. D-Mac's the recipient.
We got the video.
We do it. Yeah, let's run that. Let's see the video of D-Mac getting hole-in-one number 3 because he's a hole-in-one
And
hoarder.
will you break it down because the authenticity, because it's not of the shot, but it's of entering up to the green, Neal. And
Absolutely.
Okay, so
I'll give this to you here, D-Mac. I'll give you the breakdown. Let's run that, Spenmo.
Dude, it was going at it, but nobody celebrated.
I know it was right on. I got ripped the other day.
So here comes D-Mac walking. You don't know 100% that it's in yet because they're
the strut's pretty confident though.
It is.
Get the fuck out of here!
And there it is. And guys, here's the telltale.
Yes!
That's
amazing.
First one in 7 years.
Holy shit.
Dude. Oh, I just third person.
You third personed yourself.
Oh, that's how you know it's real.
Oh my
That is
God.
amazing.
Come on, that's how real it is.
If we hadn't been friends for 10 years, I would call you sus.
You can call me sus all you want. I got 3 more
100%.
hole-in-ones,
I
and
would
you don't
call
know
you
how to
sus.
act on a hole-in-one. How does he
You
know
went
he's
third
not going to go?
person.
Rule breaker.
No, I would never do that. Third person on your third hole-in-one. Do you hoarder?
Hey,
you
that's
hole-in-one
pretty
hoarder.
consistent,
I'll say
though.
this, though. Here's how I know it was authentic. And Spen will mark me on this one. The depth of the fist punch. Like when he goes back. Like if it were fake, he would have just went, yeah. Mm-hmm. But he went back like this and then fired through. So that's legit, no doubt about it. Jump into the WoodwardSports.com chat thread as well. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Hold on. Jake Wagner. Am I a lucky golfer, Sam? 3 hole-in-ones. I'm just a lucky golfer, though, right?
Those were very fine holes in one.
Was I just a fortunate circumstance?
No.
I mean, it's just the perfect situation.
Golf is an individual sport, so you control your own destiny in that one. So yes, very very
he's
fine
saying
work.
that you're
You're a better golfer than a hockey player.
That's pretty much what he just said, isn't
Yep.
it?
For a professional golfer, you're a heck of a recreational hockey player.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
I mean, that's facts. I'm a fine recreational
You're a fine
hockey player.
rec league hockey player.
Rec
if that
league
rec
guy.
league's a National Hockey League and Wayne Gretzky
Hey.
and Mario Lemieux play in it.
That's it. America's greatest 8. Knocking in the hole. Love it. I'll be out there today. Trying to do it again.
Trying to do it
Fire
again.
the pins, baby. Let's go. Everybody get into it.
Yes.
Might want to get down to PXG, though. Tell them D-Mac sent you. Those things work. Sugar Daddy 2s. Spenny. It's like when you sit at Coonan's and they're having that like late night when you know you're going to have that last couple.
Oh, yeah.
Getting her dialed in. Oh, just butter. Because you know what I say, Neal, right? I grew up in the Tiger Woods era, but I'm, Fred Funk and Corey Pave and short hitters needed guys to cheer for them too. So I love my wedges and my putter.
That's why I like when we play together when we're on a team.
Buttery.
Team 250.
Well, I actually, you know what? I'm not that anymore, which is a tone to a lot of things. But we're team accuracy.
Team accuracy.
That's it. I like
accuracy and make putts. I like it.
And we'll be out there soon, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm tomorrow. I'll be in the show tomorrow, and then tomorrow night I'm going up to Oscoda. And
Oscoda.
I've not been able to play a lot this year, but I'm going to play 72 in 2 days. So, that's
wow.
We're going to fix that.
We might. Hey, will you give us some updates?
100%.
Like along the way.
Not much of a cell signal up there, but I'll do my best.
No, okay.
Yeah, I'll do my best for sure. The music works for sure. But yeah, we're chopping it up. A lot of talk about the pink shirt yesterday, Spenmo. Do you happen to have that one?
I do.
So D-Mac, I know the kind of direct messages you get, right? Like you get a lot, fans, stuff like that. D-Mac, love you. The goal was incredible. Let me share with you some of the direct messages I get, D-Mac, on my end. You talk a lot of ish for a dude wearing a pink shirt.
Yeah, but it's fuchsia.
Right.
So and whatever else, but he didn't answer the question. But were you right?
And he did respond later. Jake Podolak, appreciate you watching the show. But yeah, he's like, yes, you were right, but you did still have a pink shirt on. And I was like, well, no, I didn't. It was fuchsia.
Right. So
there you have it.
So you were on point with all facts, right?
100%.
Like your shirt was fuchsia, not pink. Right? You were right in whatever your take was. Do you remember what the take was? Was it probably a Michigan thing?
I think it was the Russell Wilson.
The Russell Wilson thing, yeah.
What, that he's done?
Oh,
that he's Titanic? He's
D-Mac.
sunk?
Oh, let me get the. I'm gonna
Real quick.
Oh,
we're not going down the rabbit hole again. But we ran this video yesterday, D-Mac, where I got triggered. You know how there's like some.
Is this a new one?
Yes.
Oh, 100%, it's a new one.
Oh man, I am so happy that I don't know anything about this. So I'll give you a natural reaction.
Okay, here we go. Here's Russell Wilson.
Oh, I used to do the slide board.
Yeah, you played hockey. Not sure what this is going to do right here for you.
For a golf swing, dude. I'm looking for my driver. Wait, I do those. We do those for hockey.
Yes, I know.
Working on the core.
With a
with
football?
a football, D-Mac. Come on, man.
Well, because
the camera's on.
reaching for the first down. He's reaching for the first
He's
down.
not reaching for the first down.
Extra yardage.
They're punting at the end of that drive.
If you're asking why, there you go, Russ, put in the work. But does that look like the starting quarterback, like what you'd expect? Don't you want to see him throw the ball or do stuff like that? That looked like more of a hockey,
Man,
summer hockey workout.
I'll tell you this, the WoodwardSports.com chat thread's a little more on point right now about it than they were yesterday. Jack Harrington says, Broncos country, let's slide. Chad Fisher wants to know, and Chad, this got by me. I appreciate you catching this one. I like how he has a different pair of shoes on for each workout. Can you explain this, Neal? Yeah, I can explain it. Because it's Russell Wilson. And he works out in the aisle of airplanes going to London and stuff because he wants you to know because the camera's on. It doesn't, you can do all the slide workouts you want. You going to beat the Chiefs in the division? They going to beat Patrick Mahomes in the division?
No.
They going to beat Justin Herbert, your boy?
No.
Running out of teams here in their division.
Maybe the Raiders, but what does that say?
Okay.
Jimmy G, comeback tour.
The only thing he's done for Denver is take up their salary cap.
Do we not still all agree in here that it's just we're watching an implosion gonna happen in front of our face? Does anybody believe he's got comeback in him just because of Sean Payton? I just think, don't you think that maybe the leash is a little bit shorter?
No, I just think he's washed, man. Like that's just the way it is. But
do you think he gets bought out? Do you think he gets cut? Do you think that?
Oh, he's not going to live to see the end of that contract. Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind about that. I had a couple people ask. Yes, I have the Woodward Sports free JMO shirt on, a T-shirt that we birthed here on this show. Go to woodwardsports.com. You can order that one as well. But yeah, so that was it. Other than that, D-Mac, you're caught up. I have some Zion Williamson thing I'm going to go off the board on coming up in the second hour.
Okay.
Some people I trust. Some details about Zion's contract that I think make him very, very much more enticing to the point where I wouldn't say I'd pound the table for it because you got me on some people in the draft.
Yeah.
That I think there's a good they'll get a good player at 5.
I do too.
They'll get a good player that fits at 5. Contrary to what we've been told. However, I have some stuff in the second hour that I'll get to about Zion. Also, too, Damontre Moore, we will interview him, longtime NFL veteran, coming on at 11:28. We're going to chop it up about NFL football. He was on the Seattle Seahawks team that beat the Lions in the playoffs. I'm going to ask him how the perceptions changed. And I'm not letting him off the hook either. I sent him an email and I was like, look, I'm going to beat you up on this one a little bit, man. Be real with me about how you guys viewed the Lions. And I'm going to ask him because I want to know how it's changed.
And here a lot of times, too, and I'll speak as a player, is when you see when a team stinks and this team stinks and you as a professional talking about them, you don't want to say anything bad, but when they start to ascend and you see them
you come clean
rising,
on it, right?
Then you come clean. So I would expect him more to come clean. But is it something that we don't expect? But just to the gravity to hear it from inside the locker room.
No, because I want it real. And that's with Calvin.
What I mean.
That was with Calvin, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a feeling I know where he's going to go with it.
And we're far enough away.
Yeah, where you can talk
But
on
it'd be
it.
interesting to hear is like, what was your game plan?
Yeah.
You just automatically just shut Calvin down and then you win, different things like that. So a guy that's been in the trenches.
A guy that's been in the trenches, absolutely. All-American at Texas A&M for Sam Flannel. I'll ask him, hey, what's the SEC Texas A&M view of Michigan? I love doing that with guys from the South.
What does Texas A&M have to talk on?
No, just in the SEC, the view of Michigan in the South.
All right, we'll see.
They got a Heisman winner in the past 20 years.
That's true.
Yeah, but they're perpetually fall short of expectations. We can't deny that.
No doubt. I'll ask about
But they
that.
are in the SEC.
But they are in the SEC.
So they do play those games.
Yeah,
in those
it's more of
buildings,
getting
those
outside
talks.
of your geocentric bubble, Sam Flannel, and seeing how the real world views you.
Okay, fine.
The real world. Will they play real football, real schedules, real teams?
Or really mess up the best recruiting class in the nation, right? That also did happen. Just saying.
But that's what it takes to swim in those waters down there.
That's sure. And they took a swing and they missed.
100%, but they did take a swing.
They did.
But anyway, yeah, we'll
They buy as
We'll
they-
talk with Damontre, and we'll chop it up about and playing the CFL as well. Won a Grey Cup with the Argonauts.
Hell yeah.
You know that cuts ice.
Oh, for sure.
You know that cuts ice here on this program. Also, too, I'm told Steve Yzerman is addressing the media right now. If anything of consequence comes out, I'm sure the team in the back will.
BMG is on it right now.
He's on it right now.
Mike Gentry paying
All right.
attention, so we will give.
If you want to get on a
any
haircut,
updates.
what's the move?
Oh, you got to walk in any Lady Jane's for the award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right. 2 cars, maybe one for you, one for your wife, girlfriend, or best bud. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
We got it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty here in the fold. Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread as well. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast. I don't know, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcast, jump in there. And now you're thinking to yourself, Neal, I just subscribed to the podcast. Spencer Raxter will instruct you on what to do next.
5-star.
Give it a 5-star review if you will be so kind. You know why you're in there too? Give the heavyweights a click as well.
5-star.
And 5 to 7
5 to 7
as well. See, there you have it. But got all of you. We are chopping it up. Got a lot of football here in the first hour. Look, I'm noticing this. Like we say that the Lions are America's darling, and remember that Steam DMAC? Like MGM came out with that fact that 8% of every Super Bowl bet was on the Lions to win the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
As we get closer to the season, though, I notice some of that steam wearing off a bit. And you have to look no farther than Jared Goff to see an example of this. Because, DMAC, while certainly we have our debates in this town, Jared Goff is the darkest of dark horses in terms of an MVP candidate. And Spencer, you know, the MVP dark horse candidates, Derek Carr, Justin Jefferson, Jared Goff, among the sleeper candidates that are towards the back of the pack. He is behind Rain Prescott, also behind Sam Darnold. That's laughable, bro,
Sam
and you
Darnold.
know it.
Yeah,
it's laughable.
it is. I mean, the Shanahan offense, if he can do it anywhere.
I
he'll do
don't.
that.
I don't give a shit if whatever offense it was. If it was a run and shoot, if it was June Jones, whoever. It's the Chiefs' offense. Andy Reid, Sam Darnold. In no reality, in no stratosphere, is Sam Darnold even a dark horse MVP candidate.
That's fair.
Okay, thank you. I was waiting for some pushback there. I had the, I was flexing up and everything, and then you let air out.
That's fair.
Okay.
But it's like, isn't Jared Goff the Rodney Dangerfield of the football, and especially like this more what we've seen in our team in this generation, and meaning like he gets no respect anyways. Like what he did last year, the pundits or the Nate or whoever sets the lines in this does not think that he can repeat what he did last year, right? We talk about this all the time. I know that I don't think that his numbers will be quite as good, but it's going to be similar, right? And they could be better. So I don't think, like looking at what they said, the dark horses, I'd throw some money on Justin Jefferson and Jared Goff if they're that big of a long shots, because especially Jared Goff, because if you believe that the Lions can win this division and be successful, right? What do they have to win? 11 games?
Right, and D-Mac, we saw this before.
If we're talking strictly odds, this is a good bet if you believe in your team, because in no way, shape, or form can they do it and be successful without Jared Goff. I don't believe that Hendon Hooker could come in relief if Goff gets hurt or anything like that and be as effective right away. We just don't see that enough, right? So it is on Jared Goff, and what if he does? Like, if he put up this better numbers than last year, well, again, what would I be looking to? Well, another year with Ben Johnson. They put more talent around him and solidified to make sure that he was upright, so they made him successful. So if I'm a gambler, why don't you throw $10 on it, Spenny? What are the odds anyways?
Plus 4,000 for Jared Goff.
Yeah,
So
40 to 1.
I mean,
That's worth the spin, because I can give you a pass.
Here's this. Skip tomorrow's coffee, put 5 on it. That way it's a retirement plan for somebody's birthday. You could spend $200 on their birthday present, $5.
See, D-Mac, when I do this, right?
And then if you lose, you're out a day of coffee.
Remember, I gave everyone the 30 to 1 on UConn before the tournament started, right? You can't make a 30 to 1 a get right, obviously. I mean, I should have in retrospect, but whatever.
That would have been worth like 5 at least.
Should be worth 30.
That's on a serious. If he nailed it on a get right, that's a hole in one.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a hole in one in betting where you get to brag. Hey, remember when I called
a 30 to 1 is a get right?
You still get to do, but that was your cover bet.
That was
right. That was your cover bet.
Here's a great one, Brandon Katz. The best long shot for MVP is Russell Wilson. Brandon, I'm not falling for it. So most of the time, 80% of the time, I lay off your guys'
Wilson
slider.
In odds?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
No, he's not on there.
You said it's a good question by Brandon, so we have to take this time, right? That the cat spot is actually being nice, right? Spenny, what are the odds on Russ?
Let me find it real fast.
All right, so when we find the odds, because we've all thrown money away. Right?
But we've never set it on fire. I've never set it on fire. I've thrown it away, but I've never set it on fire. If you bet Russell Wilson to win the MVP, you are literally better off. You are literally better off taking that money and lighting it on fire and shutting your furnace off in the winter.
So, right?
Literally better off.
So we can agree Russell Wilson's
He's plus 3,500.
Yeah, so that's not a good bet. He's do you see the disrespect? Wait. Do you see what I just uncracked? Yeah. What did I just uncrack?
There is no path
to your quarterback in this town. You know what? You better, and it's not to get upset because I like it, but that's the most disrespectful thing I think. But Russ has a Super Bowl, but yeah, do not bet if it was plus 6,500. Throw a nickel on it.
No,
but throw $20 on Goff instead of any money on Russ.
Yeah, but it just, for me, because look, when I weigh these things out, like when we did the UConn, remember I gave the path, their style of play, what they do, all of that. Arguably having one of the best players in the tournament that you've never heard of. I gave a path. With Jared Goff and Spenmo, look, I think even you, a self-proclaimed Goff truther. You see a path where it could happen, right? I'm not saying bet your blazer on it or anything like that.
Yeah.
But there's a path, right? They win 12 games.
Like, you look at Matt Ryan's numbers from his MVP season, and it's not unattainable for Goff to put up those kind of numbers.
100, and there you go. And they win 12 games. Pop off win 13 games. Mm-hmm. You'll be a 2 seed in the NFC. There is a path
for sure
for it. There is no path for Russell Wilson.
Take Goff out of your offense. Like, just remove him. Do you like everything that you've built around or what this team's done? Right? I mean, the thing that sucks is J-Mo being gone for the first 6 games. But you do, don't you? I do. From solidifying, their offensive line to adding in the backfield in Montgomery and Gibbs, and then another year with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm telling you, Sam Laporta, man, this might be that we might finally have that tight end. Now, as somebody said in the chat, A lot of Kool-Aid drinking going on and said, whatever. Yeah, we got to prove it, but
he's 40-1, man. Like, you know, it's
on the wall.
Yeah, it's not like I'm saying he should be the preseason MVP favorite. No, I'm giving you a path on a 40-1 shot. I'm not saying put your kid's college fund on it, but Flannel, what have we learned about MVP voters? What have we learned?
There's narratives and agendas and storylines.
I
mean, the reality of the situation is if Jared Goff has another year similar to last year, maybe a little bit better, and the Lions win 11 and 12 games, the Detroit Lions do that and win the division, it will be the perfect MVP type story. It just will.
And what have we learned about that? We will not hesitate to put that plan in place.
Absolutely.
We will not hesitate.
And that's Matt Ryan's numbers. His MVP season were like 4,900 yards, 38 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. So, like, is that crazy to think Goff could put up those numbers? No, it's not. But
maybe the yardage with the run game, maybe. But really, realistically, 4,500, 4,900.
Yeah.
If it's 38-7, 37-6, he's going to be in the conversation. And they're going to win 12, 13 games.
If he does that. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So there is a path to it. It's not unrealistic. And it is funny to me, though, man. Like, and look, Brandon's going through, Goff has 0 chance to win the MVP. Russell Wilson, is a far better bet and stuff like that. Brandon, this is where the divisions and where you play comes into play.
Yeah.
There's no path for Russell Wilson.
You know what was worse than Sam Darnold being higher than Goff, in my opinion, on that list? Matt Stafford being higher than Goff. Because the Rams are going to finish 3rd in their division.
Right.
And there is no way a player who gets you to 3rd in your division is going to win MVP. Like, the Rams aren't going to be better than the Seahawks. They're not going to be better than the Niners. So the only reason for Sam Darnold that it's not completely obtuse in my eyes is that the Niners could win 14 games this year and he could be the starter for all of them.
Sure. No, and I'll get with you on that. Like, I guess you can make a path for it, even though he would have to show you something we've never seen from him before. Like, Goff has shown this before.
Right.
We've only dreamt about it. Yeah. We've only heard about it about Darnold all the time. I've never seen it before. I've seen it with Goff.
No, and like I said,
where you went?
It's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, because he's proven that he can take care of the ball, right? So that's it.
Tammy Chin, the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. A quick little Iserman update says that they will take a look at the goaltending issue in free agency. So there's that out there as well. Have been hearing a lot of the Alex DeBrincat stuff. A little more and more chatter about it. Does it mean anything? I don't know. But as we said, we got our own guy, BMG, Big Mike Gentry, is down there.
There's your goal scorer.
I was told I gave everyone the path. I was told he's too small. Remember?
No,
that was the pushback I got.
I didn't know you had pushback.
Oh yeah. Anytime I bring a trade to the people, they're not going to like the second hour. Then when we talk some Pistons NBA and what's going on, they're definitely not gonna like that as at all. Let's just say it like that. When we come back, we'll be joined by Damontre Moore, longtime NFL veteran, had a 10-year NFL career, jumping out into the media game, hosts a podcast. He was an All-American at Texas A&M, third-round draft pick in the NFL. We're going to chop it up about football. We're going to get some Lions thoughts. He was on that Seahawks team that beat the Lions the last time Detroit was in the playoffs. I want to talk to him about perception, about your Detroit Lions. We've seen it in the sports book with Jared Goff. Now let's talk about it from a player's perspective and see what's going on out there. What's going on in Romeo? What's going on across the greater Metro Detroit area?
Well, actually bringing it down to Hazel Park this week. Join the Woodward Sports Network and the Dispo family live at their Hazel Park location on June 23rd for the Ermanni and Edwards and Woodward heavyweights from 2 to 7 p.m. Come prepared as Dispo Dispensary takes your cannabis experience to new heights. Located at 634 West 9 Mile Road in Hazel Park, Michigan. See you there for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz and the heavyweights live June 23rd. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
Can't get enough of Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Back at here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you, just chopping it up, talking about some football. And, you know, Jared Goff at 40-1 to win the MVP. It's worth the spin, as D-Mac said. That's what I like to call a coffee bet. Bypass the coffee one day and put your $5 on that, because there's a path. We've seen it. Spenmo gave you the numbers the year Matt Ryan won it. We've seen that. We've seen that atmosphere from Jared Goff before. So give it a spin. Why not, man?
You know, there's a lot of things that, you know, can come into play into that too. And like you said, divisional rivalry. You expect, like we were talking out in Flannel's division there, do you expect the Los Angeles, the Chargers to be more effective, and Herbert to give Patrick Mahomes more of a challenge, right? This is not as easy. So there is a path for Goff to get there, and especially if they're successful and you believe that the Lions are going to win the North, why not throw the coffee on it?
100%.
We should start a thing called coffee bets. You know, we have the get right, but like if you, hey, is this a coffee bet? Just like a nickel.
I like that.
Yeah, coffee bets. So this is our first coffee bet, Spenny, if you want to.
Well, we've had, during bowl season, we have the lunchtime bets, right? But when the bowl game's popping on,
That's
and I'm
right.
like, hey, the
That's
Bahamas
right.
Bowl is on. Go get your Miami of Ohio plus the 10.
Would you have said that you're going back, to be fair, that your UConn bet would have been a coffee bet?
100%.
So we will caveat that with started out with the coffee bets, because it's not the get right, but it's the coffee bets that you can capitalize. And coffee bets are usually something that have bigger payout.
Yeah, they do. Corey Berry says if you're spending $5 on coffee, you're already too loose with your cash. You go into Starbucks, it's $5, right?
Okay, yeah, but so whatever. You buy the coffee bet because you're buying one at $2.50.
Yeah, $3, whatever it is. All right, Corey. Hey, don't get all granular on a coffee bet, man. Okay, $3, whatever you spend on a coffee, then it's up to you. Okay, how about that? Is that fair? I think that we got that. I think we got it squared away. But yeah, you know, just talk a little football, as we said. Scheduled to be joined by Damontre Moore coming up here in just a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Jack Harrington. I have not forgotten. We don't want Flannel to forget. Like, I tried to milk out a coffee from Flannel for Miggy's home run, right? But I guess we didn't lay it down. But Tom Kennedy, Jack Harrington, you are correct. He will have that one reception.
You know what? When he has that catch, I may go off the board and like get the triple laka maca chai, coconut froth, steamed, clean, oatmeal milk,
brand
chai, triple shot ginseng.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Latte,
ginkgo biloba,
protein infused,
anything green.
Yeah,
I'll just do a regular coffee.
Oh.
If
you're scared, Flannel, I know you're scared.
I'm good right now, but the fact that you're about to order an expensive coffee on my dime, if he gets it, that's a little got some apprehension. I'll just say that.
Bradley Case says Neal's going to get a $9 coffee that he won't even enjoy. And you know what, Bradley? You're right. I may pour it out on the ground. I'm going to take it outside on the window right behind D-Mac there and just pour it out on the ground. That would be legendary.
That would be legendary.
That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it on the show. We'll do it right behind D-Mac. I'll stand right behind him on air, and I'll just pour it out on the ground.
That's how you got to do it.
Would you like that, Sam Flannel?
No,
would that bother
I would not.
you even more?
I mean, yeah, probably. Probably shouldn't have just admitted that because now you're going to want to do it 10 times more.
100%. BD3 says Neal's a savage. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out. John Lord, a live camera follow. We know. Do we have that ability?
A live camera to follow? Yeah. I mean, yeah, we can do that.
Breaking action news. Woodward Sports. We'll take it live to the streets.
I'll do one taste of it. One taste, and then I'll just dump the rest out and come back in the studio. I need TK 85 though to get that catch earlier in the year. We can't be out there like in December.
Well, yeah, because you're more apt to but you're more apt to drink it, the coffee, the hot and the cold, and you're not going to fulfill your promise.
Yeah.
I would say, Neal, that if this bet is going to come through, it'll be in the first 6 weeks.
That is true. How nervous are you,
All
Flannel?
I want to see is activation station TK85. Boom. I'll be glued to the TV.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. DNCENT says, just smack it out of Flannel's hand when he hands it to you.
We'll wait for that.
Oh, yeah. That guy 62 got to pour the espresso out for the homies. Doughboy Steve said, Flannel, you should get it from the Speedway latte machine. Those are pretty rough.
Yeah.
I'm not coffee elite. Like, I'm not a latte guy or anything. Like, I'm just basic, regular coffee with just like a shot of half and half in there. Those lattes from Speedway 7-Eleven, those ain't lattes, man. Like,
What are they?
I don't know. Corn syrup.
I drink black coffee, and shout out to Rake, because my favorite that I've had recently was this yellow one that he brought back from his honeymoon in Mexico. And I think it said Intenciano. And anyways, he just said he's not responsible for any health concerns, but it was delicious.
Mike G says Neal gets a Vente Tone cappuccino. so there's that. Old Man Jenkins, gas station sushi. Remember the gas station sushi discussion?
Yeah.
Well, is gas station sushi and supermarket sushi the same thing?
No, there's a vast difference.
We cut that line.
Okay.
Remember that, D-Mac?
But I wouldn't even eat sushi at gas stations. I eat egg salad sandwiches from gas stations, but oh yeah.
That's a slippery slope too.
Yeah, but
see, I would go with the sushi before I went with the egg salad sandwich.
Spenny, you'll understand this more than anybody. You got to know your system.
That's fair.
Yep. And maybe the people that you roll with, you need a little revenge sometimes.
Yeah, know what you can and can't handle.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick though, too, I did want to touch on this because, look, I've said this for a while, but I'm going to mutually exclude this from that, and it concerns the Chicago Bears, D-Mac. The Bears fans, they've been real chatty, like real active on the social media front. Now look, I and D-Mac, you to a lesser degree, but you've kind of walked with me across the street on this one before. I have given the Bears a little more respect than most because I believe in Justin Fields a little more than most do. Because if everything breaks down, he's a dynamic athlete. Mm-hmm. Flannel, mark me. We're good with that, right?
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not being ridiculous right now.
Not even a little bit.
Okay, so I don't have to get triggered when I get the Brandon Katz message here on the chat thread. Fine. But the Bears fans, D-Mac, like, they understand that them talking is like us talking as Tiger fans. They won a Super Bowl in 85. We won a World Series in 84. That's the same time span. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it.
But I'd rather be the Bears than the Tigers right now, where they're sitting with their draft capital and salary cap. I know, don't shed a tear because I know how much money they have and stuff like that. So, right? But they're in a good position, but they really don't have much to talk because they're 40 years old too.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just, to me, it's funny because, and Bears fans, look, I'll say this, like, In my younger days, like my peak sports fandom, when we would go on the road to a Lions game once a year, we went into Chicago one time. And this was in my 21, 22-year-old days. It was a different time in my life, D-Mac. I enjoyed different activities. And you know what I mean when I say that.
Yes, I do.
So it got chatty. It got chatty in Soldier Field one time between the two of us. And D-Mac, the Bears fans have a lot to say. I like where they're at as a franchise. I do not like their fans, though.
Really?
I don't like Chicago fans at all.
Really?
At all. Can't stand them.
See, I was just in Chicago this weekend for deathmatch wrestling and stuff like that, and they were just wonderful. But, you know, I have to... No, but I mean, it's like I also have the line is, what, you're here to thank me for retiring so you could win? But I think it's just there are pieces of the fan base in every fan base that are like that, right? We have some in all our sports fan bases that are sort of... What is it that bothers you about them? Is it that is it the attitude? Is it more like what, the pompousness?
Yes,
because it's different than the Michigan fan.
Oh, that's well. They're in the same. They're in the same family.
See, here's the thing: Chicago's like, and maybe
I love the town though.
Maybe, but maybe this is where I'm twisted, and maybe this is where people. Once Chelly came, it sort of turned it into like that's almost like Step Brothers and stuff like this and stuff. And I've always had this sort of outside with Chicago, like there's a respect there to their sports and the people and the city and stuff like this. But it doesn't bother me obviously as much as it bothers you.
Yeah, and I don't know why that is, because the city's awesome. Like, I love Chicago.
But what is it? So break it down. What is it about the fan base? Like.
Just like this Bears thing, right? Like, you give them credit. So I like their setup.
So here's the thing, right? Where we always talk about with the Michigan Wolverines, right? We expect more than what their fan base, right?
Correct.
So what would you equate that to with, like, Chicago fans? Is that they think that they're better than they always are?
Yeah, they are related to Michigan fans in that they live in an alternate universe.
They act like they've won 3-4 times in the last 40 years instead of one time.
And the Bears especially. There's like an aloofness to Bears fans.
And that goes back 40 years. In our generation, it goes back to 85 Bears. That's what they're carrying through to whatever. It's that attitude in the Bears, right? Because it's always that hard-hitting Soldier Field and this and that. And really, are they that anymore? Right? I know they tried to build themselves that way, but I don't think they are really that anymore. But you know what I know that is?
What is still that?
Still that always is, and a bag of chips. That's Guardian Alarm. You know that. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian today. Here's the number: 1-800
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. You can call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed, but I need you to call the number today. 1-800
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Homo sapien, flesh and blood. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work, and people who have been proven to care. And they care about everybody. How do I know? Because there's been how many straight days of Sam Flannel's flannel protection?
300.
300 days straight of Sam flannel protection.
Today is 300?
Today is 300.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Anyways, give Guardian Alarm a call today if you want that protection. The number 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of all NBA discourse, LeBron haters. You guys just all suck.
Stay out of all NFL discourse, at least for this year, Chicago Bears fans. You've been irrelevant for a long time.
And there you go. Guardian Alarm, local security experts tell them Big D Energy, we sent you.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here doing the deal. And it is Big D Energy. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, and the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Give him a 5-star review. You can talk trash about Sam Flannel, do whatever you want as far as that is concerned as well. Sam Flannel doesn't care. He just wants you to subscribe and 5-star it, right?
Absolutely. Give it a 5-star and you can say whatever you want.
There you go. Catch Sam Flannel, by the way, on the morning show, 8 to 10. Jeff Iafredi.
Absolutely. Thank you for that plug, Neal. I appreciate that.
For sure, man.
Thanks.
I'm a team guy.
All your great takes on the morning show, just for people bright and early having their coffee. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Congrats, Sam.
Thank you, D-Mac.
Going off the cuff here a little bit. Tammy Chin.
Yes.
Yeah, Tammy
we
Chin.
Got an update.
We got an update about the Steve Yzerman press conference. There was a quote that caught your fancy, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and I'm going to paraphrase because I don't have it here, but Steve Yzerman pretty much said, I'm going to make the best trade for the Detroit Red Wings and deal with the fallout later. So he's looking to upgrade this team. He's looking to make a deal. Hopefully it's a splash. I mean, anybody who's Game of Thrones fans, winter's coming. Well, Stevie's coming. You know, this sounds like he's digging in to make some moves. I mean, he also addressed goaltending and stuff like that, which we know is a constant. And what did I tell you here? Who's the harshest guy that I know, critic on a goaltender? It's Steve Yzerman, without a doubt. Of anybody I ever played with or been around, right? He has no use for him. No, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, it's not.
I could tell by the way he treated him when he was a player.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it smells, and what does that mean? Right? What does that mean? And I think that when I hear him talking like this, and then Steve Yzerman, and what do I always say? Listen when he talks. He's ready to make some moves, and he's ready to upgrade this team because he thinks this team with the younger talent that he has is starting to be further along. And to me, that's just to reiterate that it's a playoff team next year, or then there's big questions to be asked. So, don't you love to hear that?
Yes.
And if it is your Alex DeBrincat or right, because I know you're high on him because of the goal scorer and stuff like that, you bring him, you could bring him in. And there's a 40-goal guy, a guy that you're very familiar with from his days in Chicago. So just sit back, wait and see. Draft less than just more than 1 week away.
Yep,
week from tomorrow. Exciting time. But Stevie's out there talking. So guys. Fish are biting.
I wonder about, because look, this is the path now, D-Mac, and we've seen this with the NBA. We're seeing it live and in person with the NHL. We saw it with the Florida Panthers and Matthew Tkachuk.
It's the new way.
It's the new way that you do business. If you have somebody, you draft somebody, you develop them, you lock them up, or you trade them during their restricted free agency year.
And
one of the two.
Because you get compensation back.
You get compensation back for it, exactly. Free agency is dead, everybody. If you know what this is like? You know what free agency is like now in the NBA and the NHL? It's like the NBA draft when you're an upperclassman in college. If you're an upperclassman in college and you're in the draft, it's over for you. You know what you're on the downside.
Right?
You're on the downside.
See, I think free agency in the NHL now is solidifying and building those support players. You're not going to get your superstars. You have to draft them, re-sign them, or you're going to have to pay a fee like we've seen, you mentioned with Florida, for a restricted free agent. That's the new hot topic. But I think a guy I'm interested in when free agent comes is a guy who's played for Stevie before, and Alex Killorn. It's the veteran guys. How are you also going to, and that's what free agency is sort of building your foot soldiers and everything else to accommodate. But your stars, your snipers, your 40-goal guys, your top guys, yeah, it looks like you're going to have to give something to get something.
And that's the way it is. And remember, too, because
And that's the best part. Here's the thing. When the game changes, who adjusts quick instead of being left behind, right? Steve Yzerman is going to adjust quick, and that's what, to me, and I'm interested to listen to go watch the press conference after the show of how he said. And, I'll give you my breakdown tomorrow if there's anything else that I heard in there that triggered me. But I like what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and again, with DeBrincat, my thing with him, 2-time 40-goal scorer on his resume. And, people will point to, last year with Ottawa, got in the 30-goal discussion. I need goals. And I saw people talking about it in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. People questioning his defensive ability and stuff like that. I don't care how he is as a defender. D-Mac, you cannot win if you don't score goals. You can't.
Absolutely.
You cannot win. And you want to unlock Dylan Larkin too, or at least, because we have this discussion. I've said this, you've said this. If Dylan Larkin's your second center, you got a Stanley Cup contending team. Right? That's because obviously then you have your 1C, your dude, as the 1C. For me, as it sits now, you go into next year with Larkin as your center and DeBrincat as your first line. You are lethal on the power play, because the power play got better last year. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay. Now add DeBrincat to that.
Yeah.
Where you're double shifting him power plays.
Think about it right off the top of your head. The right-hand shot on the power play on the top of the wing, the Ovechkin, the Stamkos, the Pasternak, right? All these guys that make a living, the open one time on the right side. That's the DeBrincat. That's his job too. So you need one of those, and he's, top 10 sniper in the league. That's what you need. So, in reading between the tea leaves, the tea leaves. The fact is that what Steve Yzerman just said is that if I don't get the guy I want, it's not because I didn't offer enough. It's because the other team chose a different deal.
Right.
Do you get? That's what he said. That I don't care about the fallout. Right. Where the fallout is that, that tells me that we're turning it up. The engines are ready to roll, and we're going to start putting it in gear. And maybe a little bit sooner than some people thought.
I don't know if it was the way you said the quote, but it got me. It cut to my soul when you're like, read it again. What Yzerman said about the trade.
No, he just said that he's going to do what's the best for the Detroit Red Wings and deal with the fallout later. That's something brewing. That's old school.
Yeah.
That's what
you're announcing it.
This is the only. Here's perspective that I can give everyone out there because I was with this man, right? That's a trigger to whatever else that my body for 30 years just goes, oh, it's go time. I got chills because he doesn't talk about fallout. What he's trying to prepare us for is, you know what? You might lose somebody, right, in the fallout, somebody you thought would be here. Right, let's read even more, Neal. Right, might be some of these young guys. Might be a younger guy that you're gonna have to pay to go get this, and the fallout might not be popular. But you know what? It's hashtag Yzerplaying. It's time to play with the big boys, and he's arming up. To me, my internal clock, and again, I will break it down tomorrow once I watch this, right, to know more how I vibe this. But this is exciting.
Yes, it is.
Because we're going to war. That's what it is. I mean, he just told me to go buckle up and
that's what I got from it, D-Mac, was just you saying that.
Earlier. Because I thought we talk about this. Yes, moves will be made, but is it not till next year? And he's going, no, now's the time. Why? Because everybody else is getting ahead, and he's always going to be ahead. Right? He's always going to be ahead, or what, if not the first, one of the first to the party, or he's going to see somebody change the game, and he's going to say, is that the game that needs to be changed? And he's not going to bat a lash and go, well, let me see if 3-4 other teams do it, or if this guy does it, or if this guy. No, he knows what he wants to do, and I think that he's about to have some fun.
Okay, so let me ask you in this way, D-Mac. Should we prepare the people? Because what you're alluding to me, this is me reading the room,
yes.
okay, is there might be a name that gets moved that we have possibly talked about being moved before that was a non-starter with people. I'm not saying you're calling for it or it's going to happen. I'm saying get prepared.
No. That's what I'm absolutely telling you. That's what
excuse me.
That's
okay.
what fallout means. The fallout too is that, and so doesn't mean I don't think that anybody's safe, other than your captain and Sider. But as far as like Lucas Raymond or Katz, whoever else, that everybody's at play. Because what is the quote again? I'm going to do what's best for the Detroit Red Wings hockey team and deal with the fallout later.
I love that.
Where would you absolutely love to hear that come out of?
Steve Yzerman.
Okay, it came out of him.
Yeah.
Right? But like the other sports teams or something like this, to the fact, right?
I'll deal with the fallout later.
What does that mean? That means you're playing in the big boys.
Because it means he's going to look into the camera, and he'll tell you, too. Steve Yzerman will tell you this in press conferences. He's the only one that does it. He's the only one that does it. We weren't ready to win. And under no I love it when he's like, under no circumstances was I adding at this deadline.
So here's the thing, too, which I forgot, and you brought it up. Simon Edvinsson, who we expect to be, might be one of those guys. Everybody to get you to what's better off. It might hurt a little bit.
And remember, guys, remember again, going back to what the Panthers gave up.
What is that? That's the price you got to pay to swim in the deep waters.
It's the cover charge to get in the club.
Cover charge to the club.
Otherwise, you're outside looking in the blacked out window, man. Like that's it. When we come back, we have located our guy, Damontre Moore. We're going to talk some more football. Second hour, NHL draft, NBA draft. All of it. We got it going on. Let me tell you about Big Boy. Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. Try the classic breakfast items. Strawberry hot cakes, mouth-watering red velvet waffle. You're not a breakfast person? That's cool. I'm not really either, but I am a strawberry bacon chicken wrap guy. It slaps. It is very good. Or, you want to go the salad route, the refreshing summer splash salad. Don't forget about dessert. That's why Darren McCarty goes to Big Boy. The strawberry pie. It's Strawberry Fest. Makes sense, doesn't it? What about the deep-fried vanilla Oreos or the strawberry hot fudge cake? All of that and more is there for you at Strawberry Fest at Big Boy.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment, sales, services, parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, here with you, all of you in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread as well. And right now, as promised, we're joined by the former All-American at Texas A&M, a decade-long NFL career, NFL veteran in the getting into the football media game, has a Texas A&M podcast as well. Damontre Moore, our guest here today on Big D Energy. Damontre, appreciate you tapping in, being on here with us. And Damontre, look, man, we're going to get to some general NFL stuff in a minute, but here in Detroit, we got to get your take on the Detroit Lions. We're required to do that, Damontre. They're a very sexy name coming into the NFL season. How's the rest of the nation and NFL veterans viewing the Lions this year?
Oh, man. 1, thank y'all for having me. 2, I can't speak for everybody else, but I can speak for myself. When Dan Campbell got this job, it spoke volumes to him. I remember playing for him in Miami. I've been playing 11 years, so I'm a little rusty on what year it was, but it was when he was the interim head coach. I'll never forget our last game of the season when we played the Patriots. He came in with so much fire and energy. It was just like, guys, we're going to be the dream killer. Like, I've been around some great motivators, Pete Carroll being one of the best. And when I tell you Dan Campbell is right there with him, he had us fired up, ready to run through a brick wall. And at the end of the game, after we won, the owner comes in there and said, hey, we're going to be doing head coaches searches for the end of the season. And the first thing, the whole locker room just erupted. Dan Campbell, Dan Campbell. That speaks volumes for players to just say, hey, we don't care what's going on. We know you said you're going to do a search, but we want Dan Campbell. That lets you know that his army is ready to go. And you can just tell that has trickled over here to Detroit. Last year, they're going in with all the energy, the fire, biting ankles, drafting these big guys. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do and just building off of that momentum that they have from last year.
Thanks for joining us, Damontre. My question that I always had as being a former professional athlete, and like you said, you played 11 years. What's the biggest difference between when you first got into the league to when you got out of the league, as far as maybe the way that the game is played to the way the game is like? Because I know the game of hockey that I played growing up or playing in the 90s isn't the way that it's played today. Is football the same thing? Like, you had to adjust throughout your career? And maybe what's the biggest difference from when you started?
So for me, I know you said that when I got out of the game, I'm actually still currently playing. I'm a free agent right now. I'm sorry. Here in the CFL. Oh, no disrespect. Just got to put it out there. I don't want everybody to think that's done. But for me, the biggest change that I see is safety. The NFL is putting a big emphasis on safety, changing these rules. And for me, it's a double-headed sword. I understand that we have to protect our players, protect the integrity of the game, but also you got to wonder and question, are we losing the integrity of the game? Because you being a former 4-time Stanley Cup winner and athlete, you know how tenacity, that energy, and that passion and that fire you have to play with. It's something as simple as a big play. I don't know in hockey, it can be as far as you being the enforcer, but for me in football, it can be a special teams play as far as a kickoff return, a big hit on kickoff. Those things set the tone and could potentially swing the game. And so for us, with us adding all these rules, you kind of got to wonder, are we losing the aggressiveness and the excitement factor that everybody wants to watch? Or is the game changing for the better? So only time will tell right now. But right now, I would say that's the biggest difference.
Damontre Moore, our guest here on Big D Energy, All-American at Texas A&M, current NFL free agent, over a decade in professional football. Damontre, I do want to go back to the Dan Campbell thing here for a second, because you were in that locker room with Dan Campbell. What is it with this guy, Damontre? I mean, he's got this town wanting to run through a wall. You know, obviously winning helps. I mean, there is no doubt about that. What is it about a Dan Campbell locker room that's different than some of the other NFL locker rooms you've been in?
A Dan Campbell locker room, the closest thing that I can correlate that to would be Coach Carroll. Coach Carroll is one of the best motivators I've seen as far as playing videos and just knowing how to get that best factor and making the player rise up to their best capability. Dan Campbell has the same thing. He was young. Before I even met Dan Campbell, Billy Lucci that runs Texas Ag over there, he was actually his roommate. And he told me, he said, man, before you go to Miami, I'm going to tell you about my guy, Dan Campbell. This guy right here, the energy and the passion that he plays with, Damontre, he reminds me of you. Like, he loves football players and he loves guys that just want to go hard day in, day out, have that 7-Eleven mentality, 24/7. I'm thinking about football and let me hit. And the way that he coaches is the same thing. It goes right onto the field. First thing he tells me as soon as I get in the locker room, Damontre, I don't care about your past. I don't care about your future. All I care about is the present. Live here, live in the moment, and go sideline to sideline and play with your energy and your tenacity. I'll do whatever for you, and I can make this happen. And when I tell you I believed him, and not only did I believe him in that private one-on-one meeting, but then we went to the next team meeting, and he spoke to everybody with that same passion and that same conviction. I was like, let's go. It's game time. I'm ready to go. And like you said, it goes on to the locker room, the front office, the city, and just having everybody to have this kneecap, like, who can go out there and say, we're going to go bite ankles and kneecaps, and everybody believe them and be like, this guy isn't weird? They were like, yo, this guy is weird, and I love it. It is crazy, and it's infectious. So you can't speak. I can just speak volumes about him. I'm sorry.
No, and we love to hear it.
Damontre's hype still, man.
I'm hype too. I want to play for him.
Sweating right now.
I know, bro. You ready to get in there? But it's the authenticity, right? It's because, and you said in private with everything else, he sort of lays it out there, and he reminds me of, we're talking 300 earlier, Leonidas, but a leader of men that make you want to go out there and do those things. Now, I'd be remiss, I'm going to change the subject a little bit, but obviously playing at Texas A&M, being in the SEC and stuff like this, bro. Just between you and me, there's no Michigan fans listening. Remember, I'm Canadian, so I don't have a bias. But when you played in the SEC, and maybe it's changed or whatever, but what is the SEC vision of, like, the Big Ten or the University of Michigan? Like, how does it go, bro? Shoot me real. It's just you and I talking.
All right, it's just you and I. So for me, when we were playing, right, I got to play 2 years in the Big 12, the original Big 12 with Nebraska, Colorado, and all those guys in Texas, OU, and Oklahoma State. Those guys were top offices week in and week out. And so when we went to the SEC, we were like, hey, we know how to play a powerful offense, but if we can go over there and state our dominance, this is where it's at. It's not a disrespect to Big Ten and other leagues, but we just felt that we were the creme de la creme. We felt that we were NFL ready. We had those guys, and nobody could touch us. And not just for us, I think every SEC school has that. And I think every school has that mentality, but it's a different je ne sais quoi when you're over there in the SEC. Like, you know that, hey, I made it here, and I dominated this thing, and I have to earn my right to be here. If I go play this other school, I'm supposed to dominate them, and if I don't dominate them, it's a loss. So it's just that dog mentality.
Damontre Moore, our guest here on Big D Energy. Love talking with you, Damontre, man. You're energetic. You love the game. We can tell about that. And look, I want to get real with you too on one other thing. Talking about the Detroit Lions, bringing it back to that, and how they're kind of coming full circle. The last time the Lions were in the playoffs, you were in Seattle, and you guys obviously played that Detroit Lions team. The view, and look, you were there, prime Seahawks. That was their championship run, Legion of Boom, all that kind of stuff. That was the Seahawks that we do know. What was the view? Kind of similar to the last question, I guess. The view of the Lions back then. You guys were perennial Super Bowl contenders. You guys dominated in that football game as well. Your guy Russell Wilson was in his prime at that time. But Damontre, what was your guys' view? What was your guys' view of the Detroit Lions back then? Because we around here think that today is a new day with this Lions football team. What was your view of them back then?
Oh, man, I'm sorry. Talking about Dan Campbell and this excitement got me over putting the red.
Hey, you're hype, man.
Excuse me. I did. I felt like that. But back to your question, how did we view the Lions? The one thing that Coach Carroll said when we come in here, this is a well and dangerous team. Don't take anything for granted. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the media circus or anything. This is one of the most dangerous teams we play. This is a trap game, but we're going out there with, like you said, in the peak of the era of Legion of Boom, you have Cam Chancellor, Michael Bennett, Cliff Averill, Earl Thomas, Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, all these guys that are dominant, Russell Wilson, Doug Baldwin, Tyler Lockett, Christian Michael. We had everybody and so many powerhouses. And with all that being said, he said that doesn't matter anything. They put their pants leg on one leg at a time, just like we do. And then I'm going to tell you like this. You go in here thinking, hey, let's look the next week who we're going to be playing and stuff like that. They're going to knock your helmet off, and they're going to put you into the ground. So don't take anything lightly. We don't take no opponent lightly. We go out here, if we're playing the Chicago Bears dynasty, we're going back and playing tiddlywink football. It doesn't matter who we go. We need to go out there, and it's not about them. It's about us. Because the moment we start worrying about them, they're going to have the momentum. And once they get that momentum going, it can get scary for us. And with that being said, I was unfortunate enough. I was fortunate enough to be on the team, but I was currently on IR. I had a foot injury, but just watching it on the sideline, that tenacity, it was a dogfight. It's I think anytime you go into Detroit, it's the Motor City. It's tough, and that's the epitome of what they were at that time.
In the background there, I saw a couple things you got on your wall. Shout out to the Dragon Ball Z poster and that Sage of Six Pats. It's looking pretty dope
Yes,
back
sir.
there.
Here we go.
Get it in, boys.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
New
Shout out
season's
to
coming
my boy
out soon.
Jamal. It is. I'm excited about that. Demon Slayer just finished up, so I'm a big anime fan, if you can't tell.
I love it.
Are you guys done? Are you guys done?
Yeah. All right. So I had to say
No. We had a moment. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous.
The heel.
Yeah,
the heel right there.
Damontre,
It's
a lot
okay.
of talk right now in our WoodwardSports.com chat. People loving the bow tie game. People loving the energy as well. Damontre, we got to do this again, man. We got to get you back
We
on here for
definitely
real.
do.
All right, brother. Appreciate
Thank you for having me.
Thank you,
Yeah,
dude.
Appreciate it.
absolutely.
Thanks again.
Damontre Moore, former All-American at Texas A&M. Big shout-out as well to Annie H. Hoffman for setting it up. He was fun, man.
He's awesome. That's awesome. And he's right. Jujutsu Kaisen, new season coming out. Demon Slayer just finished. Black Clover movie came out on Netflix. Shit's popping right now.
Oh, my God. Look at you got that look on your face.
I love that shit. It's awesome, man. Former defensive lineman myself, high school, nothing crazy, but we both like anime. I love it. I love it, man.
Good for you, man. Good. Ransom, Woodward Sports needs an anime show. We do not.
I would headline the anime show. I could talk about anime for 5 hours nonstop.
Here on Mark M says, great interview. Dan Wood says, Spenny is bricked up. Jack Harrington, Spenny is bricked for anime. Here we go.
Hey, I'm telling you, man.
I love the passion.
There's a new one coming out. It's called Hell's Paradise. It's crazy. I've been watching that recently.
AC says geeking, LOL.
Yeah.
You guys are.
We are.
At least you admit it. That's fine. We got to
Anime brings
my
people
guy.
together.
You know what?
Man.
Just bring your fireballs next time, Spenny. We'll douse Neal.
I got you.
I mean, he just don't get it. I enjoyed that. I'd love to see you guys geek out on
Yeah.
whatever else.
Old man Jenkins says Spenny's got the excited, heavy breathing. See, we bring on a guy that played for Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
And we talk extensively about the Lions. No one cares about that. They want to talk about Spenny being bricked up about anime.
Hey, anime is a beautiful thing.
And
like I
Damontre's
said,
bow
it
tie.
brings people together.
Yeah. And bow ties.
Hey,
People
great.
like bow ties too.
Great dude.
Yeah, great.
dude. Love to
100%. We'll
talk
get him
to
back on.
again. Let's get him during football season.
100%.
Talking Dan Kim, and plus he knows. I mean, he just got me fired up. I mean,
He
gotta
did,
play
man.
those
Like
clips.
when he was talking about Dan Campbell, it was
Did
like
somebody tell socials to run that clip?
Oh, we're
about
gonna clip that for sure. That was electric.
That was electric, dude. Like seriously.
absolutely. Again, thanks to
Stoked.
Annie H. Hoffman
Hey,
for
are you
hooking that up.
stoked? Get your shirt down. I mean, that's more stoked.
No, it is. Hey,
Stoked and brick.
if you need insurance, there's somebody you can be stoked about.
You're going to be stoked about Swiss Insurance. That is for sure. And now that summer's here, it is important to make sure you are properly covered. Whether it's a grad party or just a group of people over to enjoy the lake or pool, your liability exposure increases significantly in summertime. Let the Swiss Insurance Group review your coverage and make sure you are protected from an unexpected loss. Check out SwissINS.com or call Mark today at 248-800-4177. Again, that is 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Again, shout out Damontre Moore for coming on, entertaining discussion. We'll have some clips of that going out on the Woodward Sports social media channels. Make sure you subscribe to all of those. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. I do want to roll a little bit here with the NHL stuff. We got some NBA draft stuff to get to coming up in a few minutes as well. But second hour, I want to do this, D-Mac, because I do want to start with the NHL draft stuff. And look, the question that Spenmo had on there, who do you want to see the Red Wings maybe get with the 9th pick and all those kinds of things? Goals. I want goals. That's a great drop there, because I do want goals. That's what I want. And look, D-Mac, Red Wings, just to set the table for everybody, they have their own pick at 9. They have the Islanders pick at 17, so 2 first-round picks. They have their own pick in the second round at 41. They have St. Louis's pick at 42. They have Vancouver's pick at 43. And, D-Mac, this is in a delayed gratification draft like the NHL, kind of like baseball, where unless you get the chosen one, they're not just showing up here and contributing. With all that being said, D-Mac, this is a good setup for me. And I think I was thinking about it through the break. I think I know why Steve Yzerman has said those words where he's ready to move. Because of this setup. Because he can move but still keep some draft capital. He can make a blockbuster.
So many, dude.
There's so many.
He always has.
And I'll tell you this too, D-Mac. I'm curious to get your thoughts. If nothing changes and they make all 5 of these picks, which I don't think they will.
They won't.
But if nothing changes and he gets 3 consecutive picks in the second round, he will draft an all-star. I would make that a get right. He will draft an all-star if he has 3 picks in a row in the second round. He ain't going to miss 3 times in a row. I say ain't for a fact.
No, I mean, he's in a very powerful position right now of what he wants to do. Right? He can go after who he wants to go after. He can trade, whether it's trade or draft picks. But you mentioned the first thing is goals. If you're going to get goals, they're not in the draft. Okay? Goals are out there restricted or unrestricted, and looking at the list we've talked about immensely, they're restricted. So what are you going to give to get? Hopefully, right? A lot of teams are in a different position where they don't have. You look around and see where it is. Do they want to build? You look at a Winnipeg, right? Who there's distraught coming out there. Are they going to break some things up? Is Kyle Connors available? Well, are they going to want draft picks to build? These are all the questions that Steve Yzerman wants to know, but he's got the power sort of to dictate which way he wants to go. Alex DeBrincat, as you look around the circles, seems like, the hot commodity right now, which makes sense because that's where your goals would come from, right? So I expect with these picks that there's going to be a trade. I've said this all along. I mean, I could just keep repeating myself.
No. And look, I see this here in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Dog Pound says, I'm sick of mediocrity all the time. And the quote from Yzerman that you brought up, D-Mac, has me charged up. It does. And that's why I want to go with this right now, because I feel like it's hot. Okay, Dog Pound, here's the deal then. And we've done different variations of this before. But right now, while emotions are running high, are you prepared to move a Simon Edvinsson for DeBrincat? Something like that. Are you prepared to do that? Spenny, are you prepared to do that? Because it's going to take something, guys. You're not, you're not trading Terry Mills for Shaq.
Hey, so here's the thing, Neal, because it's done. So it doesn't matter if you're prepared or not. He is. So either get ready or get not, and don't say, like, I told you so. It's sort of like season tickets.
For me personally, anybody but Larkin, Sider, and Edvinsson.
Nobody wants any of that, though.
That Sider-Edvinsson tandem is like something that I salivate thinking about.
So, Spenny, I get it. But you gotta look advanced because it's the person making that. So I'm telling you that if that was the move to make, depending on it, the fallout is that he's already got a line on replacing Edvinsson. There's another Edvinsson and here's the thing, you haven't seen it yet. So that's don't get too attached until it goes by. Once you see, like this year, if it's not traded and he solidifies and you see the both of them, then the train's off the track, right? So then I think that he become more safer. Right now is as valuable as he is because there's the question.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread Epic says, so Ottawa will have to concede something just to make the deal and not lose him for nothing. He's a restricted free agent, Epic. They still hold the cards.
Restricted means you have to give something up.
Yes. This is the most powerful time to trade a restricted free agent, i.e. Matthew Tkachuk last year. And as I always remind you guys, he commanded a guy coming off a 115-point season, a first-round pick, and a top-tier prospect. That's the cost. I'm not saying that DeBrincat is Tkachuk, but he's in that stratosphere. Two-time 40-goal scorer, guys. That's it. That's all. There's a cost associated with it, and you might not be comfortable with the cost. But if you're sick of mediocrity...
But no, the bottom line is, Darren, translate fallout for me out of Steve Yzerman's mouth.
Excuse me, Mr. McCarty. Question. Neal Ruhl here, Woodward Sports.
Hey, Neal, nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, D-Mac. Heard you got a hole-in-one. Congratulations.
Appreciate
You're
that.
third.
We got to get out there soon.
Yeah, we do.
It was on
your
your track, too, at Oakland.
I know. That's what I heard. Thanks for the invite.
All right.
Anyway, though, Mr. McCarty, define fallout, or at least in your opinion, what you think fallout might be.
Fallout means that it might not be popular and it might be getting rid of something that you thought was part of the future that you didn't think would be moving on. Fallout means people being upset to whatever else. Fallout means losing a guy that you were prepared for the future, but in the situation to do what's best for the hockey team, you have to abort and go to plan B.
Fallout 3, one of the best video games of all time.
Bam!
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Mike G says Mo is a name that will be asked for. Mo in a package for Nylander.
Mo's not going anywhere.
No. That's not even fault. Like so because of the Larkin contract or whatever, and then Mo Seider. Those are your two non-negotiables, unless you're trading for the number 1 overall pick or something like that. That is what I can say is a non-negotiable. Okay, but again, at the end of the day, if you come back and they are a part of a package or whatever, I'll revert back to Steve Yzerman saying I'll do what's best for the Red Wings team. So if that's if you trade Mo Seider, the return is bigger. Is bigger than an Alex DeBrincat.
Because it's franchise altering both ways then.
Boom.
Franchise altering.
What do I always say? Right?
Oh, he took the glass. This is going to be serious.
What do I always say? The old 1C is now that stalwart defenseman. It started with Victor Hedman. And then you need that Cale Makar. You look at the Stanley Cup champions. What did Alex Pietrangelo, what did Vegas had? They had that the defense core. This is your Mo Seider. He's your Nick Lidstrom, so to speak. Even more so. So I mean, it's interesting. Thank goodness it's Stevie's job. And then Yzerman, Yzer play 1919. I mean, it's as easy as that. But it just means that you want to swim in the deep waters. You got to make deep moves. He just told you, I'm gonna do it. I'm diving in.
D-Mac, I walked in here, still in recovery mode from the time we had to spend bricked up about the NFL draft and all that stuff. Still in recovery mode. Figured I'd have the summer, to ease my way into getting brick backed up for the beginning of football season. I walked in here very unassuming today. Even into the show start, it was just a show. What day are we on? It's Tuesday?
Yep.
Just a Tuesday show, not run of the mill. Just, was going to do the show like I always want to do the show. However, when I heard you say that, the way you said it, as a man that played many, many years with Steve Yzerman, that has an insight into his character and how he operates, I have become bricked up about the NHL draft. And not necessarily the draft per se. The NHL moves to be made.
The transactions.
I am bricked up because he's not, as you said, he delivers stuff to you on his clock, not on your clock. It sounds like he sped that clock up I am bricked up
on himself.
On himself.
That's exactly what it is.
See, that's what I'm talking about with him.
Steve Yzerman is going to give all of us what we want, not when we want it, when he's ready to give it to me. And this quote right there, but what's best for the Red Wings organization and deal with the fallout, tells me that he just ramped his clock up. He upgraded, bigger engine, dropping the Hemi, let's go. So, you know what? Brick it up. And then I'm the same way. And then you hear, the talk about Dan Campbell, Stoke, Brick, whatever like that. This is a pretty hard Tuesday.
It is a pretty hard Tuesday.
Spenny nothing.
You put my clock into your mouth.
That's it. It's on. It's on. 1 week. You got 1 week. Anyways, 1 week to the
since you
draft.
looked at me. It's a good song.
That is. Bare Naked Ladies.
I'm glad
Bricked
I got
up,
my work
hard,
in.
Bare Naked Ladies. Holy cow. What a Tuesday.
It was just a normal Tuesday. And it's a transformation. I have something on
You
Yzerman
can't
when we
stop
come
the
back.
brick. Sometimes you just wake up with it.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't go away.
Sometimes it doesn't go away.
Sometimes you acquire it and it doesn't go away.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened to me here today. But the whole day started with a workout at Planet Fitness, like they always do, because Planet Fitness. Look, there's talking points here on this little sheet about Planet Fitness. You know what? We're going off that today. The bottom line is this, guys. I work out at Planet Fitness. I have for 3 years. I love it. I could never see myself at another gym. $24.99 a month. I'm a Black Card member. I can go to over 2,400 of them around the world. I can bring a guest, all the amenities. You can use all that. That's great. I love it. But Planet Fitness is where I'm at, the one here in Troy. It's one of the best in the gym game. That is fact, not opinion. Don't believe me? Go on through there. You can go to any Planet Fitness in the world, guys. They make it easy. There are no excuses to not get your work in. An army of cardio equipment, so when some idiot's running for an hour on it, it doesn't matter. You can just go to the next treadmill. An army of free weights and exercise equipment. Whatever you need to get done, you can get done. Don't pay $70 a month for a rock wall. Don't do it. Everything you need is at Planet Fitness. Again, go to planetfitness.com or pull your car in the parking lot of a Planet Fitness. You're going to pass a couple on the way home. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
For Detroit, by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Energizing show here today. Steve Yzerman addressed the media. We'll have some clips. Big Mike Gentry was down there covering it. Damontre Moore interview with him. He got everybody fired up about playing for Dan Campbell. Everything changed, man. Everything has changed here today. D-Mac, let me get to this real quick. Your quote, where you talked about Steve Yzerman kind of summing up what he had to say. He will do what's necessary for the Detroit Red Wings and deal with the fallout later. This is what you want in a GM. Steve Yzerman is what you want in a GM. And here's what he does that nobody else does in the game. We see this with Brad Holmes to a degree as well. But Steve Yzerman looks right into the camera and tells you what the deal is. Last year at the trade deadline, we were never going to be buyers under any circumstance. Where we were all sitting here saying, the playoff push is on. We fell for it. Steve Yzerman wasn't falling for it. I will do what's best for the Red Wings, and I'll deal with the fallout later. That's the leader that you want leading your franchise. That will go on the record and look you in the eye and say that. To say, hey, Be prepared for anything, and you might not like it. And all that does is excite me more, D-Mac. This is a GM. This is a leader. This is a guy that was a leader on the ice, that willed a franchise. Steve Yzerman and Isaiah Thomas. This is why they're goated on the sticks in Detroit forever. Because they walked into this city and took what was a laughingstock and brought it up to a dynasty. That's what they, with their own two hands. Steve Yzerman, Isaiah Thomas, their own two hands. And Steve Yzerman's running it back right now with the Red Wings. Through all the frustrations last year, through all the frustrations, and look, some of it was put upon Steve Yzerman. It wasn't his doing. He walked into this. And maybe we didn't understand the full scope of it.
Yeah,
maybe
we
did.
What are you talking about? Because he told us from day one it was going to be, it's going to take time to do it right.
Right.
And when it was time to hit the gas, he's going to let you know. To me, that's what he just said, that he's ready to hit the gas because now's the time for him to make that move. Like, everything that he's done, he's told you. And it's been apparent. And it's been a building process. And we'll watch it as it goes. And it's because he hasn't left the sticks and straw, right? It's all bricked up, foundational. Because what does he want? He wants to get it like when I played, when I joined his army, right? And that was, 11 years into 10 years into his career, right? We're had to change, like it's the thing is that we just keep building because we want to be back there every year, and then we want to get into like it used to be. He's doing a lot of the same things. We just, how many times here? It's different, Neal, because that's what it is. Usually, it's the fan base going, "Come on, man, our GM's got to be active. Our GM's got to be doing this." He's telling you exactly what to prepare for. And he's swimming in those waters. He's swimming in those deep waters, the uncomfortable waters. But you know what? If Steve Yzerman is a lifeguard and I'm out there, then I'm going to be saved. I know that.
Paul Thomas in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. While I disagree with the Yzerman brand Kool-Aid drinking, good show today, guys. And Paul, I appreciate you tapping in, but you won't like this right here. What have I been wrong about this entire time, right? Because this is a guy that looks you in the eye and tells you the story, that tells you what's going on. I don't understand how you cannot be on board with what he's doing. He walked into Franz Nielsen with a $36 million contract on the books. They're still paying Justin Abdelkader. They will be paying him till 2026. That's what he walked into. Did you think he was just going to come in here and sprinkle dust on it, and then boom, they were going to be Stanley Cup contenders? No. He's clued you in every single time. And he's done it once already. This is what I don't get about this, Paul. Like the people that say, oh, well, they should be in the playoffs already. Oh, the rebuild's not going to plan. What did you want the guy to do? He's done it already. Remember when Yzerman got here in 1983, for the people that do? I was like a very, very little kid. I do not remember like that year or anything like that.
I do.
But D-Mac does. And through all that as well, I do remember what this franchise was during those times, and he did it. With his own hands, he did it.
And how did he do it? How did he do it? Right? He did it the Detroit way. Fall down, get back up, grind through, don't quit. When the going got tough, he got tougher. Changed his game, led the way. Not only the offense, but said, you know what? If I want to win and I want to be this, and evolved into the best two-way player, arguably, in the league, around everything else, knew what he had, and led the way like a true general or a true leader, a king, or whatever. Now he's leading in a different way, with the same sort of army putting it in place and telling you, get ready, boys, sharpen those spears, because we're getting involved. That's all it is. I mean, get ready, because you know what? I will be the one shoving it all down you naysayers' throat. I take receipts. I mean, dude, hockey players, what I tell you, we'll forgive. We never forget. And I'll take receipts, not only that, to people whining and crying because they can't go see a game because all the tickets are sold. And you know what? I've been telling you all this. Be prepared. It's all part of what's building. And I will be. So maybe that'll be my TikTok page. I told you so. Like that's seriously. It's and Man, the captain just told me to get on the boat if you're coming. If not, you're going to be left behind. That's what he just said. We're leaving early. I know we said we're leaving next year, but no, I changed my mind. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and Pistons fan 11 says, with the quotes, he says, Yzerman could have done this, could have done that. That's all people ever talk about. And Pistons fan 11, you're right. Like, everyone goes in. There's been a process to all of this, much like there was when he was a player. And what D-Mac talked about, too, when he came on the scene here, when the franchise was laughable, they had to give away cars to get people to go to the games. It was laughable. He shows up on the scene, and what does he do? Builds it up, becomes a playoff team, right? Runs into the Edmonton Oilers dynasty, arguably the greatest hockey team of all time. Gets crunched by them, circles the wagons, comes back, more disappointment. Never stop. He's gonna see this through, man.
You guys don't even understand. You don't even understand. Like what you're dealing with.
He will not fail.
Go do his breakdown like we watch these documentaries of great leaders, Alexander and the Conqueror and everything, whatever it is. Go look at what he's been through. You know why he's going to be successful? Because he's been through all the shit, right? He knows what it's like not to win. The worst of worst, and it didn't get him down. He Detroited it, right? He's the epitome, like you said, of what Detroit and Michigan's about, picking yourself back up no matter what and setting the example and evolving. And guys, as a player and as a general manager, he's done it too. I haven't even gone to his general manager resume of making the tough decisions. That's all it is. Just be ready, because he just told you he's ready.
People in the WoodwardSports.com chat where we got a couple of our people saying call-ins. Here's the deal, guys. We're going to do call-in Wednesday. I'm calling for this now. Call-in Wednesdays. Against my better judgment, because we tried that. And how did it go, Flannel?
Not great. But, I believe in you guys, that you guys can bounce back. And to be fair, that day there was a little bit of confusion to start out with. But tomorrow before the show, we'll make sure they're all tested and ready to go.
Yeah, we're going to do call-in Wednesday tomorrow. Against my better judgment. But we're going to do it. Dazzle me. All right? And for those, like, the couple of you... call in, Tammy Chin, call in Wednesday so some of the nut jobs can call in. No, it's fine. Chuck Brewer says, so I'll skip Wednesday. Got it. And Chuck, look, that's what I fight against all the time. We'll try it one more time.
Fucking, who said it? Rossidi Anderson. Rod, if you guys don't call in tomorrow, don't ever fucking message in the chat again. Can we do call-ins? Call in tomorrow. And if it's not good, you're not calling back.
Yeah. Who farted? Call-ins are a waste. Absolute dumpster fire of a segment last week. I agree. But we're going to do it again because I'm giving. I'm giving to the people, D-Mac, and I'll give you another chance. But for the Rod and the people like that, if you got something to say it. Come on here and say it. Because I'm going to be well-researched on it. Don't come in here with foolishness, because I'm not having it. And I'll drop the hammer.
I agree with Corbin.
And if you guys want to call in and talk anime, please do it.
No.
Spenny Piss is hot. Yeah, exactly. You want to talk call wrestling? Let's go.
Yeah.
Call in. Open line.
Oak Island recap. 248. Mm-hmm. One thing we will not do. We will not take your calls on where the best hamburger is. We're not doing that.
It's fair.
Don't miss.
Yeah, because Rod.
Rod, tomorrow's your day, Rod. Don't miss.
If you don't call in, I'm flaming you in the chat for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah. Nick Williams says, if call-ins are a dumpster fire again, ban call-ins. Kyle Vaughn says, yeah, Rod.
Rod.
Jake Wegener's Oak Island talk greater than call-ins.
I agree, Jake. Absolutely. Call in and we'll talk Oak Island.
Ransom, I'm going to call in. Please have someone filter calls and talk with them beforehand. No.
No, Flannel does.
Yeah, he'll answer and get you set up. I'm not putting it on Flannel for you to be good. For Flannel to gatekeep whether or not you're good.
Rod.
If you're good, call. And get on here. Get on the main stage.
I remember I called 97 won the ticket one time, and I was on my way to do a fantasy draft in East Lansing, and I was like, I have the number 1 overall pick, and I told their screener I was gonna be like, "Is Andrew Luck too high at number 1 overall?" And when they put me on the air, I was like, "Is Justin Tucker too high to take?" And they hung up on me. And then my boy that was in the back seat called, and he got on. And when he got on, I took the phone from him. I was like, "Why'd you hang up on me?"
Oh, you Spenmo racks. Old Man Jenkins says, Brandon Katz, call in, please. I need that in my life tomorrow. For some reason, Dan Wood said Fireball. I may need some Fireball, and I don't do Fireball.
Fireball's disgusting.
It is 100% disgusting. But we're going to do it. D-Mac tomorrow. We're going to do it. Call in Wednesday.
Let's go.
We'll let the people determine their
Rod.
fate. Steven Seibert, Rod will probably call in from a rock wall. So there's that as well. Oh, wow. We were late for the break here. All right, guys. What could be better than watching celebrities like Braylon Edwards, Darren McCarty, Jim Harbaugh play golf? What about playing golf yourself and being treated like a celebrity? That's what. Stop in any Randy Wise Automotive Team dealership for your chance to play golf like a celebrity. VIP transportation, free golf at one of Michigan's best courses, and a tasty steak after. Compliments of Fairway Packing Company. By the way, when we were out at Fairway Packing Company last Friday, I got some of the USDA choice ribeyes. Even my 14-year-old son was like, Dad, what's the deal with these things? They were incredible. I'm just telling you guys that. But again, make the wise choice. Get to Randy Wise today for your chance to win and be a part of the Randy Wise Automotive Team Celebrity Golf Tour.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you, all of you in the woodwardsports.com chat. Don't miss it tomorrow. Call in Wednesday against my better judgment. I think that's going to be the name of the segment. Call in Wednesday against my better judgment. Rod says he's calling in, so I look forward to it, Rod. We'll chop it up. And look, man, I'm not looking to be confrontational or get over on anybody or stuff like that. Just bring the game, and we'll see who's who. And that's it.
And Brandon Katz will do what he wants.
Lots of interesting Fireball stories that I'm not going to talk about.
Fireball's disgusting.
Took me out.
Took you out of the game.
That was the ender. That was it.
It took a lot of people out of the game. We'll just.
It's all right.
We'll just say it like that.
I'm grateful to it. Got me out of the game.
Yeah, that is true.
I like what Epic said. He said flavored liquor is for kids and vacations. I don't like flavored liquor.
I don't either, but I'll do a pina colada if I'm on a beach. But I have to be on a beach.
A drink is different than flavored liquor. If it's a mixed drink, yeah. But if I'm drinking liquor, I just want it to be liquor. I don't want
Back in the day, right? The flavored liquor was usually in the punch.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it's usually the beach, the outdoor, the whatever else. Flavored liquor usually went in the Monster Brew. And a lot of it. Right? Like that's how you got a big slosh party spending. I know you've been there.
Oh yeah, Jungle Juice.
That's where Jungle Juice is. Absolutely.
NBA draft stuff real quick. I did want to talk about it because it was pretty much universally panned, D-Mac. The Zion Williamson thing has been talked about a lot. I did a little bit deeper dive into things, and I will say this. If you leave it up to me, right, if I can leave my core untouched, And I think we came to the conclusion that the core is Cade, Ivy, and Darren. Right? Is that fair?
Yes.
Everybody? That's fair, right? That's a conclusion we came to. If I can maneuver a way to get Zion Williamson, where I give up a package not involving those three and the number 5 pick, D-Mac, I'm in. And I'm in all the way. I know the deal. I know what everybody's concerns are. But guess what? If he played 70 games a year and scored 27 points a game, you can't get him. Like, that's just the way it is. And a little bit deeper dive into Zion's contract. Number one, what everybody talks about. There is a weight clause. If he comes in overweight or at any time is overweight, he forgoes guaranteed money. There is a games played clause in there as well. If he doesn't play enough games. Now, the details, like the numbers, aren't public, but this is just the language of the stuff that's in the deal. There is a games played clause. There are some in the circles that believe that he is already on pace to not make that games played clause. So the contract that everybody's so terrified of, which I don't get. Like, why is everybody terrified when we talk about big money deals in the NBA? Remember, we're in a league right now where Steph Curry this year is going to make $60 million. $60 million.
Isn't this when Brad Holmes comes out and says, I'll do whatever's best for the Detroit Pistons organization?
Whatever the fallout
and deal
is.
with the fallout later, right? Which would, if he did come out and say like that, means that he's all in. And so what you're telling me as a draft capital contract salary cap guy, Neal, is that the contract is sort of team favorable.
Very, very palatable.
Right, because it protects you against the questions that you have, right? So money-wise. So, yes, the fact that you say that, I'm all in. I'm all in if you can get it for that, because you don't think that at number 5 there's that valuable player. And even let's break it down even more. If he plays 50 games and gives you 27 points. You didn't have that regardless. And it makes more sense, too, because what do we also talk about? Why did they keep Bogdanovich? Right? Why? Because he's their shooter, right? So Zion fits role in there, too. Yeah, no, I'm sold. Let's go out and do it. If that's what
I love that too, that I got that kind of juice with you, where I tell you the money's okay and you're in. Like you drop your bags and you're in.
It all makes sense, right? Because does this add to and also too, what does it give you? It gives you more national credibility, because he's sort of on the lines of bringing what you did when you brought in Blake Griffin. So the fact that Tom Gore's, it's not really a money thing from he's willing to spend or go out and get this guy. If it can be done, it can be done. And right now, with the way things are going, the Bradley Beal, you're talking about, the Miami making different deals. Guys are moving. This could happen.
Spenmo,
the shuffle's on, right? The shuffle.
Yeah, and I want to get the guys' take with these details about the contract that have come to light. Are you in?
Oh, I was in.
You were in before.
Yeah, I was in before. If you tell me I'm getting Zion without getting rid of those 3, yeah.
100%.
And that's pretty much what it is, right?
Yeah.
You don't touch the 3.
Yeah, you're looking at Bojan to make numbers line up. The Pelicans will probably want Bojan because they can flip that for an asset at the trade deadline. Isaiah Stewart, something like that. A rotational guy. That's kind of the discussion that I've heard. Flannel, you're on board with this, right?
Oh, I've been on board, and the bottom line is that you wouldn't have to give up
final
in this.
Word.
Yes, the final word on this is, in this hypothetical scenario, you wouldn't have to give up the core 3. And it's not just that Zion has been good when he's played; he's been generationally good when he's played. His career numbers are 26, 7, and 4 on a whopping 61% shooting. I mean, D-Mac, you said it. Even if he only plays 50 games a year and is healthy for the playoffs, that's a good acquisition, 100%.
If you acquire, you bring up a great point, Sam, right? If you acquire him and we don't expect Detroit to make the playoffs this year, but you see with what you get, give them a year to get into it, and these 4 guys, if that's the case, as your core 4, you got something there, right? Because our expectations aren't playoffs this year. It's sort of developing that and the healthy and to build to it, because that's what you need. When you are a playoff team, a guy like Zion to be healthy, the playoff, then it's worth all the rest during the regular season.
And look at last year. Shot 37% from 3, a 71%. like you talk about that field goal percentage. Yes, there's a lot of highlight reel dunks and things like that. He will step out into the perimeter. That's over 60% with some perimeter shooting in there.
With some perimeter shooting, and the bottom line is 61% is 61% no matter how you get it, especially when you score 26 a game, and especially that he does shoot more perimeter shots than you think. He is one of the more efficient scorers in the game right now when healthy. I get it. Health is an issue. He's only played 114 games in 4 seasons. That's very, very bad.
But it's all accounted for.
It's all accounted for, and it's the only reason why he's available. The only thing stopping him from being a top maybe 5 to 8 player in the NBA is health.
But here's the thing. How are you going to... That's what you need to have happen if you're a team at the bottom like Detroit that has to make a move for a guy like that to take a chance. There's got to be question marks, and it's his health. But you got to take a shot, because how else are you going to take a shot, because you're not signing free agents?
Pistons fan 11, the resident Pistons fan in the Big D Energy chat thread says, give them whoever, as long as we keep those 3. And Pistons fan 11, that's kind of where I am with it too. And I'm built different about this draft than a lot of people are. There are a couple of targets that I would be cool with at 5, Spenny. Mm-hmm. And I know the draft's Thursday night. I won't be in on Friday. You guys are doing a draft show? Or do you know?
I'd assume so. Woodward Pistons will do one for sure.
Yeah, we'll do one for sure. And I'm going to be curious to get, hear those guys' takes and everything like that. There are a couple of targets that I'm okay with. If they do end up with number 5, there are 2 guys that are, one of them's going to be there. It's math. One of them's going to be there because the big 3 are the big 3. Wemby obviously will go 1, Scoop, Brandon Miller. There are 2 different guys for me, Cam Whitmore and Taylor Hendricks are my other 2. So, you're guaranteed to have one of those available to you, Spenny. So I'm more than cool with it because I've adjusted my priorities for the... Everyone thinks, you just get a superstar or it's a bust. The Denver Nuggets showed you, man, the blueprint of their roster, how critical a 3-and-D guy. The Lakers, an undervalued piece... When Data Davis was carried to a championship by LeBron, what was an undervalued piece of that roster?
KCP.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
And
the
who else was
Golden
he
State
on?
Warriors.
He was on, and the Golden State Warriors. They've had guys like Andrew Wiggins and even Harrison Barnes to some extent. And then, of course, Kevin Durant was the best ever at being that complimentary wing scorer. Yeah, every team needs one. Every single team.
So I am excited, too, more than I thought I would be, about the NBA draft. Sports Marketing Agency, they help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast is called This Is the S Word. It's a series that helps address the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Thesportsma.com. The Sports Marketing Agency, they're here to help.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
A segment of the
Maybe
show.
I'll just produce the show. I don't need to be on it. I can just produce it.
Darren McCarty, executive producer. My name is Neal Ruhl. Spencer Raxter, Sam Flannel. Here with you, woodwardsports.com. Chat thread, Mike G. Ask Spenny anime segment.
I'm here for it.
Yes.
We'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow, 12:50. We'll do it all tomorrow. Wednesday, call in Wednesday. Ask Spenny anime. I want to MC it though, because I want to learn.
All right.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
Tomorrow.
No,
let's do it Thursday. Thursday and Friday.
We'll do it
I'll
tomorrow.
come
in on Saturday.
Don't get it twisted. I'm driving the boat. We'll run the whole show. We'll make it an anime show.
There you go.
Sports anime. Here we go.
Cleaning up the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Brandon Katz says Zion can't shoot at all or play defense. He doesn't fit in Detroit. Sam Flannel said he's a 61% career field goal.
Yeah, and the reality is, I just looked this up. Prime three-peat Shaq was a 58% shooter. So 61, no matter how you get it, that is all-time elite. While averaging 26 a game, are you kidding me? That's phenomenal.
But Sam, they're all dunks.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter.
Those count as shots too.
26 points a game. This isn't Rudy Gobert just finishing 6 lobs. This is Zion Williamson averaging 26 a game. Stop it.
I'm with you all the way.
Thank you.
It was brought to my attention there's a photo going around the internet, D-Mac, that's become viral.
And is it the which guy do you hate more?
No,
it
is that one for sure.
University of South Carolina.
That's Ben Morak's favorite. This picture's been going around social media, and I think that this is legit the Spider-Man meme come to life. Aaron Rodgers and Kevin Durant together, which begged the question.
Aaron Rodgers is taller than I thought, because Kevin Durant's like almost 7 foot.
Yeah,
right?
almost 7 foot. Yeah, and he is, and that's fine. You talk about two guys that are pretty much the same. Those two guys right there. And it begged the question, Sam Flannel, and I'm curious to get your take on it. I saw this on all the talking head shows today, which I guess we are too, but whatever. Who needs a championship more? Who needs another championship more?
God, that's so tough.
Come on.
I think it's easy.
You think it's easy?
Yeah.
I think it's easy question ever.
I would probably say Aaron Rodgers, because if he gets 2, that is just, you are immortalized. Nobody can even talk about you again. I already think he's one of the all-time greats. He has 1. That should immortalize you, but all of the upper echelon all-time greats have more than 1. The thing about Kevin Durant is people seem to forget his 2017 finals performance, which he averaged 35, 8, and 5 on 56, 47, 93 shooting splits, was a phenomenal performance, and he's 2-time finals MVP. And I believe with all my heart they don't win those 2 championships without Kevin Durant. So I will say Aaron Rodgers.
It's Rodgers 100% all day, every day. Kevin Durant, arguably is like the greatest shooter. You can't defend him. You nailed it. Finals MVP, all this stuff. It doesn't matter what he does the rest of his career. Aaron Rodgers has gone like this. The hype about Aaron Rodgers and the fact now that he's gone to New York and to see it all implode, he needs it so much better because he's supposed to be the saving grace and the messiah for that organization and that franchise. He's the missing piece, right? And he hasn't won in how long? Which I know that he's got one under his belt. So that's, you can't take that away with him. But how long ago was it? And that's the thing I think that is creeping up with him, that it's like he's not the same guy that he used to be, and can he get them over the hump? If he does get them there, boom, that skyrockets him into another stratosphere.
What do you got on it, Spenny?
I think it's Kevin Durant.
I do too.
I think he needs to prove that he can win somewhere without Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. He needs to go somewhere else and do, because everywhere he's been, he's had great teammates around him. Obviously, Harden and Westbrook in OKC, even though they were in the infantile stages of their careers, they were still one of the best trios in the league. You go to Golden State, you have that amazing team there, and you win a couple championships with a player who is higher on the Mount Rushmore of the NBA scale than you are in Steph Curry. And then you go to Brooklyn, and you have James Harden, and you have Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons, and nothing happens. And then you go to Phoenix, and now you have Bradley Beal and Devin Booker.
And even when you were in OKC and went to the finals, you had James Harden, and you had Russell Westbrook.
Serge Ibaka, they had a great team.
Yeah.
He needs to go prove that he can win something without Steph Curry.
He's not an alpha. He's a side piece.
Yeah.
And his MVPs and everything like that, he needs somebody to drive the boat. Aaron Rodgers, we've been told, is supposed to have been the captain of the ship forever. That's why it's to me, Kevin Durant has always, and he needs the right people around him, and then he shows out as MVP. So the thing is that he's proven with good players, he's still the best player around them, or can be when it matters.
And look, maybe this is a flaw of mine, because we were talking about Iserman and Isaiah Thomas. And
He's not even close.
And Aaron Rodgers did this in Green Bay. As much trash as I talk about him and stuff like that, and how he more often than not he chokes in the playoffs. He did win one with his crew, and it was him. And he came in, and he was the centerpiece of it all, and he led them all. And Durant's never done that. He's walked into a ready-made situation. Like, he's never cooked the meal before. He sat down to eat it, but he's never cooked
not
it.
built. I don't view him as that guy. Right? He's not the lead. Like, he's more of the Fedorov to eyes. Right? He's more of the Rodgers, yes, but Durant, no. And
That's
he's proven that wherever he's gone, he can't be number one because it
Then he
dissolves.
should just come out and say that and stop all this. Just say, hey, I'm not that dude. I'm not that guy, pal. Like
But he hasn't he shown that by the way that his social media and the way he's so sensitive and the way that he's got it.
That's fair,
right? Like, to me,
that's why we talk these things through.
That's always been the case. But my expectations for him are the
lower.
ceiling of what he is.
Yeah,
he's got to be around the right leader or the right other group and be that accessory. He's never leading you there.
And D-Mac, I'll say this too. You've heard me say this before. Like, in all the games I've done play-by-play for, to call a Kevin Durant game and see how different he is than everybody else out on the court.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. The handles, the pull-up from 17.
He's the best offensive player ever. Best
No
offensive
doubt.
weapon
No
in the
doubt.
history of the NBA.
And it's never going to be equal in my mind.
He's more
though.
reminds me, and this is not a slight, but he's more of a Sergey.
Like, he's almost aloof, like aloof to
it's
it.
not the aloof, but you need everybody else around you, and you fill that role where you're the talent. You have to have somebody that gets him to shine that talent.
That's interesting, and I'm such a big Sergey guy.
That's leadership.
Yeah,
and that's what Steve Eisman has, and what he's doing now. And hashtag why he's playing 1919. Deuces.
All right, real quick, Nick Pancone, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I'm going to call in tomorrow and say El Mago is back and hang up. Nick, please. We need that in the system. We need that. Thanks for watching. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.